Welcome back to American Agenda. The Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, was reportedly spotted with Prince William and their 3 children over the weekend as questions continue to swirl about her health and well-being. This was the first time Middleton has been seen by the public after receiving an abdominal surgery in January.
She recently came under fire for posting a photo for Mother's Day in the UK that was revealed to have been photoshopped. Now, many believe that the princess's Mother's Day post looked a little off, as Princess Charlotte's sleeve did not line up with her hand and a few other quirky details.
Yeah, that's right. She previously took to social media to apologize for the situation, saying she sometimes experiments with editing and apologizing for any confusion. Also, do we actually believe the royal family would allow Kate to edit this, though? Katrina's
Yeah, that seemed very bizarre. I can't imagine Kate Middleton sitting there and editing her own photo. That's going to go around the world. But we know that the royal family under fire for years regarding how they handle the media. This probably doesn't really help the cause.
No, it certainly does not. Okay, let's get to a discussion on this right now. We have Ken Chandler, executive editor, Newsmax Media, joining us in. And then we also have Hilary Fordwich, global business consultant, here coming in. Hilary, let's start with you. I'll put it this way. My dad, who has, I think, very little interest in the royals, asked me last night, what is going on over there? Okay, so people are talking about it. That's the point here. Hilary, what's going on?
Yes, you're absolutely right, Bob. I mean, this has been sort of a ghastly situation. And I think what's shocked the world really is that we were so used to, under the former Queen, Queen Elizabeth, the beloved Queen Elizabeth's Buckingham Palace was run rather well. Christopher Guite was her major assistant, and you never sort of saw these major gaffes. The issue at stake here has been trust. That photograph, although actually many others previously have been somewhat photoshopped, but the photograph was issued basically to demonstrate that she's so healthy. So you can't be literally saying one thing with a photograph and then it representing something else. So that's really what was at issue here. Interestingly, though, if you listen to the sort of words or read the words and you listen carefully, she didn't actually say she edited that one. So for those of us that are listening for any kind of cues, she didn't actually say that particular photograph. And then with regard to her being seen over the weekend, it actually was at the Windsor Farm stall today, and then with her children watching sports events over the weekend. Many people have said to me, well, but there were no photographs and, you know, the press wasn't there, but everybody has a cell phone nowadays and we could all take a photograph. Well, the community there is a very tight-knit community. The school, the parents are very close-knit, and no one would want to be ostracized for betraying such a beloved princess. So I think this is also another issue. She's so beloved by the public, by those around her, and the one thing we're not hearing are leaks. And the answer to that is because she's so beloved by her staff. Usually there's somebody disgruntled and somebody will talk to someone, but they unanimously are standing by her. And that is really great tribute to her personality.
It sure is. It sure is. And we know, of course, King Charles also going through treatment for cancer. So a very unique time, even from just a health standpoint, with the royal family. Now, Ken, you just returned from England. I'd love to get your kind of feedback on what the vibe was there. I mean, because again, we're here on the other side of the pond. Is this something that you really were hearing people talking about? And then secondly, you've described this as a PR nightmare. Why?
Well, I think it's one of the great PR fiascos of all time. I mean, but I think that the villain in this may not be the PR people that work for her. I think it might be her husband, William.
Really?
Because, you know, he has a very uneasy relationship with the media. Not surprising when you consider what happened to his mother, Princess Diana, who died in that car wreck in Paris when the car was being chased by the paparazzi. He's very distrustful of the media. He's very, very much wants to keep his family private as much as possible, which I don't blame him for. But, you know, what they've done, and he's kind of gone overboard on this, I think. You know, it's all very well to say that, you know, my wife's going to be in the hospital, but why is she going to be in the hospital for 2 weeks? That's a long time to be in a hospital, right? So that's given rise to a lot of unnecessary speculation. And it contrasts with Buckingham Palace, the way they handled King Charles when he was diagnosed with cancer. And they said, he's got cancer. We're not going to tell you what sort of cancer it is, but we are going to tell you what the
super
treatments are going to be
Right.
much more transparent.
Hilary, do you think that's the case, that William, given his past and what happened to his mom here, is really just trying to protect his family?
Well, following up on Ken's point, actually, yes, one of the things that William is actually renowned for is that he tends to, most unfortunately, because he's very well-meaning, surround himself with yes men. So when you surround yourself with yes men, they're not, or women, they're not necessarily going to, object to the way you want things. And I think, unfortunately, be careful what you wish for. He wished for privacy, but really what he has created is a firestorm because of not managing the press correctly. And there are certain instances where you do need an expert. And yes, he's been overprotective, and this has been caused out of not being transparent enough. Just a little bit more transparency so the public was at ease, and this may never have occurred.
Yeah, very interesting. Ken, I know there's so many theories going around as to what's going on with Kate, and nobody actually knows. So I'm not even going to ask you to share any of those because they can be crazy. But what is it? Why are Americans, or many Americans, so obsessed with the royal family? Again, spending so much of your time here in America, but also being British. So kind of enlighten us.
Well, I think that they see the royal family as celebrities. I mean, that's really what they are in American eyes. They treat them, I don't want to say they treat them like the Kardashians, but there is a little element of that there.
A more refined version.
But I don't know that
Yes.
the British are any better, because I can tell you last week, I spoke to a lot of people who are in the know, but not, and the number of theories about what's wrong with Kate,
Right.
if you had an hour, I wouldn't be able to get through them all.
Wow.
Yes, I think that's what my dad was wondering.
Yeah.
But
So
didn't get to
the point is,
bottom of it.
I guess the answer is, Mr. Brooks, we just don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
What I heard an American say to me one time is about the royal family in his American accent. He said, "We get all the pomp and circumstance and the soap opera, and we don't have to pay for it."
All right. Well, we're going to leave it right there. Hilary Fordwich, well said, that you quoted. And Ken Chandler, thanks to you both for all of the insight. We appreciate it.
Pleasure.